All right, so here we go. We're back in the library, and if we refresh, I think where we left off was trying to make this toggle. So now we can delete a book, we can add a book, we can also edit a book, and we can also click done. But the problem is when we click done, we can't undo it. And that's where I was thinking about making maybe the edit button something else because it already edits when we click on it. So I was like, maybe the edit button should just do something different or just make it a different button. But I don't know that, I don't know what else to really make it, you know? Um, I could make it like not done and then make it turn back to white, but I could also just make done toggle, but I'm not entirely sure how to do that. So this is where I left off, trying to make the green. Decided not done with the book, consider making the edit button something different or try to make the function toggle. So that's what I may try to do. So if I go down here to my code, to my edit note code, where's this? Writing with this many notes is kind of annoying. I can't even lie. So we have our delete book and we have our complete book. So if the event doesn't match, then return means do nothing. This is the ID that we get from our data set that we did in our map method down there, mapping over all of the books. And if the book ID is equal to the number of ID, we converted this ID into a number. And we're going to take the book and do the color of light green. If not, just return the book and then display it. So I'm trying to do something here. I'm trying to think of what's something that I could do to toggle. So let me see if I can think of anything. How to toggle a function in JavaScript. I don't know that there's a way to toggle because I know there's the add event listener, and let's see what he's trying to do. Class, turn off effects. So he's trying to, oh, is this jQuery? No, this is dollar sign. Toggle effects on click. Yeah, that is jQuery. Is it? Yeah, that's jQuery. I was like, this looks like jQuery. This is an example. Not sure what you're trying to see, but set interval. Yeah, this is jQuery. I don't even think CSS approach by using. Oh, you know what? So the CSS approach. So maybe doing, but how would we get a CSS class to run here instead? I don't think we can do that. Let me find another example where we use toggle because we do use toggle in our app somewhere else. Yeah, class list.toggle, but how do I make my parameter that? I don't think we can. Okay, all right, let me see. How to toggle button, JavaScript, toggle between two functions. Maybe what we have to do here is, how do I make it like a double click? Because we have to grab this done button by its data set. We can't grab it directly from up here, like from the DOM. So we can't just make it do whatever we want it to do. Edit book modal author, edit book modal close button. One thing that we didn't even really finish this app because we still have to make it save to local storage. So maybe that's what we do here. Um, I kind of forget how to do that. Yeah, maybe we should make it save here first. That would make this a lot easier to work with. This is node. So, okay, let's see how we did that here. So we did that with the render function, right? But we did it a little bit different. Let me see here. I think that's the last thing we were missing as well. So basically, okay, so we save our books. So we can go down here and say save books. It's going to be a method. And then we're going to use local storage dot get item. And then it's the JSON dot stringify, right? And then we're going to pass in, I forgot what it was. No, set item. Okay, not get it. How are we going to get the item? There's nothing to get yet. So set item. And then we're going to set books for the first argument. And we're going to stringify this dot books. This dot books. So we're going to stringify our array. And what this is going to do is it's going to save our notes. So now we could even just put this on every instance where, where we have to display our books. So we can put it here. We can put it here. Where else do we have to display our books? We can put it here. We have to display our books there. And then also, before I even run into this error, I need to make sure that it's this, because every time we reference a function or a method inside of our class, we have to use this keyword. So, yep, this. Okay, let's keep going up. Clear input fields. We can say this, save books. We can go up to edit note. Nope, that's not it. Open edit modal, don't need it. Keep modal open, don't need it. Add book, don't need it there. Is there no display books in this one? And our handle 18 click contains event. Okay, I guess not. And now up here, we are going to have to convert this into a local storage dot get item. So now we want to get our books, right? Is that what we want to get? We want to get our books, and then we want to parse, right? So JSON dot parse, and we want to parse our string of books. I don't think this is right. Let me check. Okay, so parse. Oh, parse doesn't even go inside of that. So we need to wrap the whole thing in JSON.parse. So JSON.parse, and then local storage.get item. And then we want to get our books. And then we want to say do this, or just be an empty array, because that's what it is by default. And when we run something, let's just put in a book here. So C.S. Lewis, the magician's nephew. And I don't even know how many pages is in that book, but it didn't work. Okay, we did something weird here. So, oh, we didn't set our array to it. That's what happened. So did it save it into local storage though? So if we go to application, it did. It did. Whoa, why does it say hello world? When did I do that? Okay, let's local storage dot clear. Now let's try to reload and do this again. And let's say C.S. Lewis, the magicians. Is that not how you spell magicians? magician's nephew, and we add. So now when we reload the page, it's gone. Hold on. Is that in our developer tools? Yeah, it's here. So there's somewhere in here where we forgot to add. We had to forget to add something. Let me see. We probably forgot to add this dot the this dot render or save note. We had to forget to put that somewhere. Open edit modal pop up. We forgot to add that somewhere. Close modal pop up. This dot add books. Keep modal open. Open edit modal. We had to forget to add this somewhere. Display books. So we have saved books, I think, on all of them. So it's saving it into our local storage, but it's not rendering it. Do we have to do something inside of our display books? Maybe we do. Let me see here. Lots of notes. No, we don't. So save notes, local storage, display books. So we have our save books, local storage dot set item, this dot books. Yeah, that's right. So I think we're missing something and I just can't remember what we're missing. Select book. So this is select note. Okay, this the ID. Edit note color. So we have our, we don't have that. So we have this dot save books. Is it called save books? Just to make sure. It is called save books. Yeah, there's something we're doing here that's weird. Close form, save notes. Just have to look over all of this. Hide that. Okay. This dot render to display our notes and our save notes that we added. So maybe save notes isn't running. Let me see what happens if we do it with save notes. If not, we'll just put it into a render notes or render. Test, test, test. Okay, on reload, it's just not doing it. So there's something here that's just not working. Something here that's not working. So complete book event. Let me see here from the top. Delete note. Okay. Mouse over. This is our form. Prevent default. Stop propagation. Close modal. Handle form click. Open form. Close form. Open modal. Close modal. Open tooltip. Close tooltip. Add note. And then display note. Okay. Did I put it here? Handle modal btn click. Open modal pop up, close modal pop up, keep modal open, open edit modal, close edit modal, edit note. Why is this called edit note? That's so funny. Okay. Save books, it's here. Save books is here. What is this? Select book, complete book, delete book, save books. Okay. Let's pass both of these into something called render. And what render will do, it will this dot save books and it'll this dot display books. So it'll do both of those things. And then at the top, we can run this dot render. So making sure that all books render when the app starts up. This dot render. And yeah, that fixed it. So I think that's just making sure that these two things actually load up. I don't know why it didn't work with just this dot render or just this dot save books. It doesn't work with save books, but it works with render. So what we can do here, we can leave that. I know it would make a lot more sense to do it that way. I think I'll just change it in this app, since in the Google Keep I don't have it that way. So instead of having to run these two, we can just run render. This dot render. And then here, instead of having to just run these two, I want to keep it in there for reference though. Even though I'll be honest, I don't think I've really been looking at any of these notes, which is hilarious. And I was doing the notes for a reference thing. Now it just kind of seems like it's in the way. So we'll do that. Delete note. So yeah, what render is doing, it's basically just running the save books, and then it's running the display books, and it's rendering it. So we include it at the beginning of the app to make sure that it runs when the app starts, because if we don't, that means that it won't run when the app starts. All of these things here inside of the constructor are going to run when the app starts. Let me see if this would even work. Would this run when the app starts? It will. Yeah, every time we reload the app, it will run hello. So everything in the constructor will run when we open the app. So if we do it outside here, I don't think it will work. It won't work. It does. Yeah, it doesn't even do anything. Yeah, it won't do anything. It won't even work because there's just no place that we're putting inside of. And then add event listeners is just a method containing our other methods. Okay, and then we have all of that. So back to the problem at hand. So that was pretty much all we had to do with that other thing. Let me see. What's another book that I really liked? I really liked I can't even think of another book now. Yeah, I can't think of another book. We'll just stick with C.S. Lewis. Maybe we'll do another. Ooh, C.S. Lewis. The Lion, which I don't remember what the title was. Let's just say The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. And then we're gonna say 221. The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. Saving it to local storage. That's good. So now every time we refresh, it'll stay. So now we can work on our JavaScript a little bit easier. So back to the problem at hand where we can't change the color back after we already say done. We can't say we're not done. Does that save on a reload? It does save on a reload because it's running render. Okay. So maybe we turn the edit button into something else, because when we click on it, we can edit, right? But when we click edit, I also wanted it to edit, because how would people know that? Like when they're opening the app. But I mean, it wouldn't make sense to click done again to say I'm not done anymore. That wouldn't really make sense either. I mean, it does, but done seems like, hey, I'm done with the book. So maybe I need to say edit. Maybe need to say undone, revert. So revert would just turn it back to white. I feel like revert. So what does it mean? Like, what does revert even mean? Or like not done? But then that would take up too much space. Revert. So I think revert might make sense right now. We'll change it if it doesn't make sense, but now we have to just make the button work. So same thing up here. We have to get that button. Where is it? Need to make sure that I change it back. So we have the books, modal, pop-up books, edit book modal. That's none of that. Making sure the render runs. So outer body clicked, not that. We want to make sure, or want to go back to, so okay, so this is the open edit modal. So if it hits the revert button, so now when we click revert, it's not going to work, of course, because we have to go down here and change this back to revert. And I just want to update that in my code because I don't want to be confused. So delete book event runs on the body click, right? Okay. So we'll see, say this dot revert book going to be an event. And we can go down here to the delete book. So complete book, we have delete book. Oof, we changed it in our CSS as well. I just realized that. So we have our edit btn, which is not going to be revert. And I just wanted to update that just because I don't want to become confused with that later down the line. So we have, oh no, we have revert book. And first thing I think we have to run is event dot stop propagation. This is going to be an event. Did I make it an event up here? Just making sure I did or didn't. Yep, I did. So event dot stop propagation, stop it from running into anything else. And then we're going to say if the event target doesn't match dot revert btn, then we'll just return. And that's just saying if I just click anywhere else, please just don't revert it. So, because that would suck. So like you're done. Well, I mean, you could just click done, but I guess that's just not what we want happening. We don't want them to click like over here and it says that they're not done with the book anymore. So another thing we can do is we can say const ID is going to equals to the event dot target dot dataset dot ID. So it's going to equals to the dataset ID of the revert book. So this is getting that because, so we have const ID in the constructor, our event dataset ID. So the event target is revert btn. What I'm trying to grasp right now is it's getting the target dot dataset ID, but I'm like, how is it getting it from the revert? Because it's saying get the book ID. The data ID is the book ID. Oh, because it's the book ID of the particular book, not the actual revert button. So the data ID of the revert is the book ID of the current book that we're on. That makes sense now. Now we want to say this dot books equals this dot books. And then we're going to say it's going to be exactly like this one right here, but we're going to write it out. And then we're going to map over every book, right? And then we're going to say if the book ID book.id equals to the number of ID, then we are going to want to run this statement if it's true, spread in all the books, and pass through the color. And if it's false, we just want to return our book. And then now we can have a color default parameter of white. So we have done and revert, but we have to render our books. So this dot render. And now when we click revert, boom, done, boom, done. One thing that I think would be cool is if it turned yellow. So like if you started a book, no, if you click done on a book and then you revert it, it's yellow. So that's pending finish. I don't know. Hold on. Let me see default CSS colors. I don't know that that'd be a good idea, is what I'm trying to say here. Let me see. What's a light yellow color? Why didn't, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Why didn't I just go into here and say light? Oh no, I can't do it out here. So color, light, like a light yellow color. Let me put that in here instead. So if you click that, well, if you click revert first, then will it matter at all? Light yellow. So no, because that doesn't make sense. That doesn't. It just have to be a revert button. Because you revert it, if you say, hey, I'm done, and you're like, oh, wait, I'm not done, you just revert it, right? One thing that I want to see. So I guess that's done. One thing that I want to see here. Okay, the Odin project library is that there's a lot of things that they did on the Odin project, or not a lot of things, but there's some things that I've seen and I'm like, I would like to do that. So gives you the option to add a book. 23. So we can say not read and read and remove it. Same thing with mine. Some people have stats and I want to display stats. I think that would be really cool. This README is really cool as well. I like this README. So we have a live demo, of course. So we want to save it into local storage. So this is something cool that I actually like. So, oh, and that's something that I made yesterday. So delete local storage. But that's what's going to happen when we click our delete button anyways. I wish I didn't delete that. Okay, whatever. So yeah, that's what's going to happen anyways. So let me see. He gives us information. So that's kind of something that I want to build into my app. I feel like that would be really cool. So like information about all the things that you've done so far. So we can put add book. I think I'm going to do information. So add book, library. So we're going to say add book. I think we're going to need a div here called dot dot actions. No, not dot actions. Dot what should this be called? We're gonna say dot dot actions. We're going to just do actions. That doesn't really make sense at all, but that's fine. Dot actions. And then here we're going to say dot information container with an ID of information container. And then inside it's going to be a h2 of view info. Right. So now we can go into style.css and then we can go to our information here. Dot information container. We're going to say background color is going to be a light coral. We'll just do all of these. Nope, not those. We'll do all of these. Nope, not those either. Information container doesn't belong there then. It belongs somewhere up here. So this is gonna be with the welcome container. And we're gonna specify that this is the view info container. So now we're gonna take all of these because it's gonna be very, very similar. That's the text. We want this stuff. This is the good stuff right here. And then instead of that, we want to use light coral. So light coral. Nope. We want to go back here. View info. One thing that I will probably change is make these two widths a little bit shorter. Okay. Oh, what did I do? Oh my goodness. What did I do? Okay, we'll just put it here. Dot. Oh my goodness. What did I just do? Information container. Information container. Then we'll add all the contents from our welcome container. But instead, it's going to be a light coral with a color of white. The min width is going to be nothing. It's going to be 200, 100. What the heck is this? The min width is going to be 280, 270, 250. That doesn't even make sense though. This statement right here. So the minimum width is the minimum it's allowed to be is 250. The maximum it's allowed to be is less than the minimum. That doesn't really make sense. Okay. So also what we'll do, we'll put the container of actions. Hey, Steve's there. So we'll say background color, light golden, rod yellow. So we'll say this is going to be a display flex. And that's exactly what I wanted it to do anyways. Oh shoot. Adding inline 0.5 ems. I think it's margin inline. Margin inline. 1 em. 20 ems. Okay, that's not working. We'll just say margin 0 pixels, 1 pixel, 0 pixels, 1 pixels, 10 pixels. Why isn't this working? Hold on, that's weird. Oh, maybe I have to add it to the buttons themselves. So margin inline 0.2 ems, and then give it the margin inline as well, kind of equal it out so that they're not so close together. Max width, I could even probably make that shorter, can't I? 200, and then about 200. So now we'll be able to view info, and that'll open another modal. So is there anything else that I would like to add? There's books. I mean, but when he adds a book here, he has a test and cancel. I don't like, I can't say that I don't like it. It's his app, but it's kind of annoying that it doesn't just let me enter anything, but it makes sense because it's pages. So you would want it to be like that. But when we remove it, do you want to remove this book? Yes. So what's the storage option for if it's deleting already? Maybe it's just another option. So we add it. We can say, hey, we read it. And then it'll say that. Or we can say, oh, we're not done. This is how many pages we're towards finishing it. And let me see something real quick. Yes, Lewis, the Pilgrims Reform. Let's say 300. Could we add that here? Like a little bar here, kind of how he did, where it's like, no, because that requires buttons. So like it would require a button here, a button here. So it'd require the minus and the equal. And then on this side, it'd have to be like how many pages we've read. And on this side, it would be how many pages we have left. So it'd have to increment and decrement, or increment and decrement, if that's how you even say that. One feature at a time, though. Don't get too ahead of yourself. So also, I want to use some kind of API. We could make this shorter, right? We can make that shorter. And make it shorter as well. Welcome container. Min width here. Ooh. 150 pixels for the min width. That doesn't look equal though. Hold on. Height 6 VH. Min width 20 pixels. Okay, that's not even changing that. What is that changing? Welcome container. So the maximum width it's allowed to be is 20. No, that's not doing that either. Border radius 2 ems. Because I wanted to kind of okay, we're running out of time here. I wanted to confetti when a user completes a book. So when they click done, they get confetti. So kind of saying, hey, you completed the book. And then I also wanted different filter methods for different features. Maybe delete a random book with array filter method. Check all your array filter methods to see what feature you can make up, and then integrate some sort of API. So I'm thinking I want to integrate some type of API that's going to take the data of the API and do something just random, like maybe like book idea. So let me write that here. where's that symbol? Oh my goodness. So book idea div that gives the user a random idea for a book they might want to read. This information can be obtained from an API. So we would get it from an API and we'd click on book idea or random book and it would add a random book here. PI and would render out data about the book. All you need is the book title, book author, and number of pages. Allow the user to put the progress of their current reading, like how many pages they have read with the plus and minus symbols. And if they are not at the complete number of pages, then the green filter on the book will disappear. So that's another feature I could build into it, possibly. So I think I'm gonna leave it off on that. So we can revert, we can say we're done. Maybe that button will serve something else then, because if we have like these two symbols here and saying how many books, how many pages you've read and how many pages you haven't, that's another thing though, because our edit feature is when we click on it. So if we revert, done. I guess we'll just do one feature at a time. I'm getting really ahead of myself. Because yeah, this lets you edit and then that lets you remove. I'm getting ahead of myself, so I'm just gonna do one feature at a time. Um, I think that the feature that I want to add right now is the view info. So I want the user to be able to view the info. And then it's gonna open a modal. So it's gonna be the view info modal. And that's gonna be really cool. Max width 20 pixels, min width 20 pixels. It's not working. I don't even know why. Because the height works. If I say 2 pixels, that'll really jack it up. Welcome container. I don't like the hover effect on that container anyways. I should find something new for that. Information container. So we have the min width. I'm thinking more like 150, but it's not working for this one. Oh shoot. Why is that not even working? Oh, that's probably why it's not working, because it's gonna mess it all up. Okay, so let me do another one. And it's gonna be dot API generate book with an ID of API generate book API generate. So we could get our class here, API generate book, welcome container text. We can just say API generate book dot, and then we'll get all of this, paste it in here. Then we get API generate. This is going to be like light blue or something. I like that. Wonder if I can make these smaller though. And what's the color that I used on this one? And then how is it going to stack up on mobile? So flex, wrap. So on mobile, it's just going to wrap now, I believe. Mobile view. Let's say background color would be light pink. The height is going to be 10ph. No. Because if we justify content to the center and we align items to the center, we'll probably need some padding of about 0.2 ems. Just make it look a little bit better. 1 em of padding. No, that's not going to be very good. That flex wrap though doesn't do a bad job though. I can't lie. That doesn't look terrible. API generate, and then when you go into full screen, it'll be like that. And then the more you minimize, it'll move it down instead. And then it'll put it like that. That's not bad. It's really not that bad. So we'll get this view inside of the mobile view. Some of these other mobile views are just god awful though. Oh, that's not bad at all. That's really not bad at all. I don't know what mobile view I was looking at. That was, oh, it's these modals that are atrocious. Yeah. And then it kind of has that little side scroll that we want to remove. Still the side scroll on there. But like when we're on a MacBook Air, if we're on full screen, we're going to get everything we need. Galaxy Fold. It's going to be that tablet view. And then it should work on our Google Pixel Pros and our Galaxy Z Flips. I actually really like how it looks on the Galaxy Z Flip. So if we add a book, say C.S. Lewis, the Magician's Nephew, and then let's say 424. Yeah, it'll just add going down. So I think that's it for now. We have 2 new things that we're going to do. We're going to view info and we're going to API generate. And these 2 things are going to serve a purpose of API generate is going to generate a new book in here, but it's going to generate it from an API. And we're going to choose an API that gives us the author name, title, and the number of pages the book contains. And then our view info is going to open up a modal, which is going to let us view the info. Shoot, does his have it right here? Yeah, so it's going to open a modal that's going to tell us how many books we have, how many of those books are completed, the total pages. We'll find a different stat because that would mean we'd have to implement this. And I don't know if I'm going to do that part. But I'll probably do this on stream. The app works. So now we're done. And then we can revert it back. Done, revert. We can delete our books. We can add another book. Let's say, what's another good book? I forgot how to spell J.K. Rowling's name. So we can say Safari. Hold on. What am I doing? The Sorcerer's Stone, which is getting a lot of scrutiny right now. Sorcerer's Stone. That's not how you spell sorcerers, is it? The Sorcerer's Stone. So the Sorcerer's Stone here. Ah, come on. Bro, what is going on? They really don't want me to choose this book, do they? Sorcerer's Stone. And then the author, we're gonna, what's her name? Where is her name? J.K. Rowling. And then your number of pages. We're just trying to add some information here. Okay, so that one's actually the only true run. So I think that is it for now. I will be back and we will start our view in full modal. We will try to do our done button. So our done button will drop confetti to signalize that the user is done reading that book. One thing I also want to see if I can change is the background. I don't love this background color, but I don't know what else would look good with it. So maybe we do that towards the end of the app. I really like this pastel look, so we'll probably keep that. We can edit our books. And then the API generate, my plan with that is to generate a random book. So all that to come in a different video, and I will do it live, but that's pretty much it.